My question directed to these category of people is, why, my brother and my sister, why should your job stop you from establishing that essential worship, which is a prayer, that will save you in the last day? That worship that tremendously will increase your nur, your light, in the last day. We all firmly believe that we will die, right? Nobody believes that we'll stay forever. And we all believe, because we are believers, we are mu'minun, that we will be resurrected in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We will stand in front of Allah azza wa jal in a day which length is 50,000 years. And in that day there is no sun that produces light for us outside there. There is no moon, there is no stars. And it's going to be total and complete darkness. There is one thing that will benefit you bi'idhnillahi ta'ala in that day, which is that light that Allah Azza wa Jalla will give you. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will deceive the munafiqun, the hypocrites. Will initially give them some light, so they think with their thoughts, and then that light will be taken away from them. And they won't know where they will step foot until they slide to Jahannam. So how do we increase this light? By praying in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is one of those reasons that you get resurrected in the last day and you have light. Your hands radiate. Your feet radiate. Your face shines. And you see you're glowing. You see where we're going. So these people who don't pray, our brothers and our sisters who might miss prayers, don't they think of this reality? Don't they think that it will come a day that they will be asked for that prayer? I'm going to start praying tomorrow. This is what everyone who dies, that's what they say. Tomorrow, and then tomorrow he's carried on our shoulders. So there's no time for tomorrow. This is not one of those things that gives you time for tomorrow. My boss doesn't let me pray. Subhanallah. We are mentioning that, and you know that. And you properly realize the reality of the last day. And after all of that, you still say, your boss, your manager, your job, you're not going to have money? Who gives you that money? Who has decreed for you to have the wealth that you have, and the health that you have, and the family that you have? It is none of the creatures. Rather, it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why do they stay awake during the night? And then they are not able to wake up and pray Fajr on time. Why? Inna Qur'an al-Fajr kana mashhuda, when Allah Azza wa Jal has testified that that is the best time to pray. I wonder with some people who read the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they have memorized Allah's word, فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ. فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ. Wail wadin fi jahannam. Wail might be for those who pray. A valley in Jahannam might be for a category of people who pray. Who are they? الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ. They are those who are heedless of the time of their prayers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is threatening this category of people. People who pray, but they are heedless of the prayer time. How can someone delay or even neglect their prayers when their Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala has clearly stated in the Quran, فَخَلَفَ مِن بَعْدِهِمْ خَلْفٌ أَضَاعُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَاتَّبَعُوا الشَّهَوَاتِ فَسَوْفَ يَلْقَوْنَ غَيًّا. But there came after them successors. After this generation of people who performed their prayers and who were good with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. After them, another category of people came who neglected their prayers and pursued desires. So they are going to meet evil. Ghayy. How can someone who was blessed with a sound logic not feel threatened when he reads Allah's word and they still don't perform the 5 prayers? Why? How can you believe in Allah but then you disbelieve in His commandments? How can someone perform only one Jum'ah prayer when he knows that these prayers, they are the connection that he has with his Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala? The second that you say Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest, you leave everything else behind your back. And you say Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, and your Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala says Hamidan ya abdi, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Majjadan ya abdi, Athna alayya abdi. You recite Surah Al-Fatiha and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He keeps saying, my servant has praised me, my servant has thanked me, my servant has... Subhanallah. How can someone who possesses a sound logic not want to have a conversation with his Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala? Let's not mention what Allah Azza wa Jal has said in the Quran. We recite that each and every time. مَا سَلَكَكُمْ فِي سَقَرٍ. The dwellers of hell, they will be asked a question. The question is, what made you be for the dwellers of as-saqar? One of the levels and ranks in Jahannam. What is the response that they give? قالوا لم نك من المصلين. They will say, we were from those who did not pray. If someone leaves one single prayer with no reason, Allah Azza wa Jal will not accept these prayer for these individual even if he prays it 1,000 times after the time has gone out. From the scholars who have said he is not obligated to pray that prayer no more, and he's going to find an ithm, the warning and the threatening of whatever he did in the last day. Allah Azza wa Jal does not want that prayer no more. Inna salata kanat ala al-mu'minina kitaban mawquta. Allah Azza wa Jal, the Lord of the heavens and the earth, He has made prayers an appointed obligation at certain times. Not whenever you want to pray them, my brother and sister. You should be proud of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you.